Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amalia Sabrina. I'm from Office Administration Optimization Technical class. And I want to explain about the summary of the novel that I read. It's kind son and lovers to fulfill the task of reading activities. In summary is novel Sons and Lovers. Gertrude Morrell, or Mrs. Morrell, has an unhappy marriage or marriage that lacks attention and affection. She married a man who worked in the coal mines in Westwood, namely Walter Morrell. She often argued with her husband, Walter. Mrs. Morrell loves his first son, William, very much because he is very fond of William, with very much difference with Annie, the younger sister of William, who is focused on his life. Paul, who is very devoted to Mrs. Morrell, he is very sensitive and a little temperamental, good at painting. Paul grew up and worked in a factory, and Mrs. Morrell had a youngest child named Arthur Morrell, who is very handsome. William Morrell's first son took a job in London and left his family until William got sick and died of a skin disease. Mrs. Morrell was so sad that she didn't pay attention to her other children. Mrs. Morrell awakens her sadness and returned to her way of life. In the end, Paul fell in love with a woman named Miriam Livers, who lived on a farm not far from where the Morrell family lived. But Mrs. Morrell doesn't like Miriam, so Paul can't marry Miriam. Until in the end, Paul meet another woman, a suffragette, who had not separated from her husband, Baxter Davis. Because Miriam, Paul, and Clara Davis become close, but Paul considered Paul and Clara love story and returned to Miriam to see Paul's feeling for himself. Paul and Miriam felt happiness for a while. Then Paul decided not to want to marry Miriam and broke of his relationship with Miriam. Paul felt that he should only love his mother, Mrs. Morrell. Paul also felt the joy of beautiful romance with Clara, but her husband beats Paul one night. Mrs. Morrell fell ill and was diagnosed with a tumor. With all his struggles, Mrs. Morrell died. Paul and Baxter have finally become friends since their Friday night and arranges Clara meeting with her husband Baxter. After Mrs. Morrow died, Paul felt lost and unable to paint again, and Miriam came back to Paul to make her last request for their love story, but Paul refused. Paul felt like killing himself that day. But Paul changed his mind right then and there and decided not to give in to the darkness that hit his life. This is a summary the novel Sons and Lovers. That's all from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.